This is the digital recreation of the shooting of Mike Ramos by APD officer Christopher Taylor. It was made by Mark Johnson, who testified Tuesday.
It's a tedious process, but we did that, and we were able then to lock all of the cameras into a synchronization.
The jury was shown different points of view of the shooting, which happened at a Southeast Austin apartment complex in April of 2020. There was also a mapping of the shots fired at Ramos, the second being the fatal shot.
The accuracy of these scans is beyond the level that we ever could have experienced before in forensics.
The process of creating this digital presentation involved the adaptation of a collection of several different videos from the incident. The recreation includes a vantage point from Mike Ramos as he was confronted by police and from the officers themselves. After the digital recreation was played in court, I asked social justice advocate Chaz Moore about what he saw.
No, I think it's been the same, right? Because I think people have to look at it like this. Officer Taylor was in the same vicinity with two other officers that did not shoot lethal rounds, right? So, why did he feel so threatened when the other two officers did not?
Taylor's defense is based on his claim that he fired his rifle because he considered Ramos a threat as he drove away toward other officers. Johnson testified that he was able to place the officers at the scene where they were that day.
The layperson term is triangulation, but you could use those different views photogrammetrically to find where each of the officer was standing.
The initial presentation of the digital recreation did not show the position of officers who were out of view and where Ramos was heading. Johnson also admitted the views he created also have an important limitation.
If you go to Officer Piper's view, we're not saying that's what he was seeing, but we're saying that's the direction his head was pointed.
The use of digital video recreations in a criminal trial is a fairly new technique. The jury can even see through a rifle scope, like this image of Mike Ramos, and even walk around a crime scene as a virtual police officer. The technology can be a powerful influence, and I asked Moore, could the animation be too much?
I don't know. I mean, some technological advances are good. I don't know. I don't think that the jury or the courtroom should make a sole decision on that. I think it's a perspective. I think it's an angle. But I think we have to rely on the real footage that we have, the hard footage that they actually have.